I apologize that I missed Rings of Power episode 4. That being said, I have some questions that need to be answered, and I'm sure you guys are just as curious about what I'm going to talk about. But I mean, hey, you clicked on the video, didn't you? Well, let's hit the credits. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that lovely red subscribe button. Greatly helps us out, lets us know the content that you want. It's free. It's in the bottom right watermark. Just a little click, and then you can scroll on with your day and get notified for everything that we do, which is basically all Geek content. We've got tons of great anime coming up. Still have more House of the Dragons, She-Hulk, Andor, Rings of Power, you name it. We're there. My Hero Academia starting October 1st. We are your people for that content. But the reason you're here is the sword that Theo has is driving you wild. And if you're anything like me, you did a little research, spent a lot of time staring at the computer, and you realize one thing and one thing very, very early on. There's like nothing on it. Not a leak, not a spoiler, not even a fraction of a hint. Anything you can find online to kind of logically follow some sort of conclusion, or logically come up with some sort of conclusion to let you know what it is that weapon could in fact be. I have several theories. The theory that I really want to throw out the most is, and the one that I got most excited about that sparked this video anyway, was that this weapon is a complete, they're going to do a 180 on us. This is not a sword at all. This would be the mace of Sauron. The one that, in the Fellowship of the Ring, he's using the opening scene and just haymakering everybody. Crowds and crowds of bodies flying in all different kinds of directions. People are getting sprung and just getting destroyed by this mace. But, upon further inspection of the hilt, there's absolutely no way, when comparing the two side by side, that is in fact the mace. They've had to have redone literally the entire weapon, start to finish, in order to get that done. So that kind of completely takes my theory, throw that off to the side. The other theory that I would like to throw out is that it is in fact a Morghal blade. And for those of you that are familiar with the Lord of the Rings, Morghal blade is the weapons that the ring race use when they ultimately, well, the Witch King of Angmar has a Morghal blade. He stabs Frodo. Frodo then gets poisoned basically the rest of his life, and he feels pain until he leaves the Undying Lands at the very, very end of Lord of the Rings. However, I have some concerns about this theory as well. The theory kind of has an issue in the sense that the Morghal blade vanishes after its intended target is hit. This weapon is the exact opposite. Once someone is stabbed with this weapon and blood is drawn onto it, it extends. That is kind of the exact opposite in every sense of the word of what we are talking about. It's kind of upsetting to see that this is a weapon with so much general interest, but so little information about it. The Morghal blade would be very, very cool to see how it's done. But there's another third theory that you guys agree with, that ultimately I'm leaning more towards than any of the other ones. And be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below as to what you believe either thus far or moving forward. The weapon that I believe this is something that was only hinted at in a deleted scene from the extended edition of The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. In that extended scene from Return of the King, they go ultimately to the gates of Mordor. Aragorn is fighting with a troll in all the extended films and in the original. In the deleted scene, instead of that giant troll, it's Sauron himself he's fighting. And Sauron has a sword right there that he is using to battle Aragorn tooth and nail, and ultimately, succumbing to his one weakness, which is plot armor, ring right down the lake of fire of doom, melting it down and ultimately vanquishing him once and all from Middle Earth, never to return again. That sword has got some eerie similarities to the one that is currently on screen that Adar is searching for. Adar is also Elvish for father, for those of you that were somehow unfamiliar with, but it is fantastic that many diehard fans are loving this series. There's also fans that are really upset with this series. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it for what it is. It's visually one of the best things I've ever seen on TV. The plot is moving along very well. They're tying all the stories together really well. They'll bow out, and they come back, bow out, come back together. It's a beautiful process. The Lord of the Rings trilogy did that very well. It's excellent storytelling. It's difficult to do, but when it's done right, you know, this is it. New Lord of the Rings fans, welcome to the series. Thank you for joining us. There's a lot of great books. There's a lot of great content. There's a content creator out there that I'd love to give a shout out to. He obviously doesn't need it because his channel is easily the best far content for Lord of the Rings is Nerd of the Rings. His stuff, his videos, his breakdowns, his watch parties, his delivery, his timing, his editing, everything's flawless. He does a fantastic job with everything that he does. I want to give a shout out. I appreciate everything I've seen from that channel. I've learned so much from it, and you're never too smart in your own lore to realize that there's always somebody else who knows more about the source material than you do, so I want to give that a shout out there. But those are my 3 theories. Let me know yours in the comments below. Is it the Mace of Sauron? Is it the Morghal blade from one of the ring race? Or is it the sword of Sauron from the deleted scene in Return of the King? If you haven't hit that subscribe button, I don't know what you're waiting on. You've been here 7 minutes. Clearly you like something we were talking about or interested in something that I was saying. And here's a couple videos for you. Should you want to investigate further and see if this channel is for you, or would be variant for you to be your guest. That's very